And we are live. Hello, everyone. It seems like it's been ages and ages. It is Geek Speak Live Chat with these lovely people beside me. You guys can introduce yourselves, because I'm lazy.
I'm Trevor.
Hello.
And I will. And that
That's
was
that's Juicy, my cat, and I'm Rowan. So we've been gone a while. Nor not any of the times we've missed. It hasn't been near Trevor's fault. It's pretty much only been Will's.
it's absolutely my fault every time.
Yeah, and me and Trevor were really starting to get annoyed, so we finally got him to do one. Life got in the way, okay? Leave us alone. But we have lots of stuff to talk about, and towards the end of the show, we will talk about a new giveaway, finally. Yay!
And within a few months, we announced we were going to do one.
Yeah. We said we were gonna do one every month, and we really got away with doing two and never doing them again. So we will make up for it. It will be big. It will be worth tuning in to watch it. I don't even think anyone yet is watching, so that's okay. If you're watching this after it's shot, go to the Facebook group and like the Facebook group so you can win the contest. Because Will is gonna take it if you don't.
Absolutely.
So we'll start with comics, as we always do, of what we have been reading lately. And I can tell you that I have not been reading anything new lately because I've been too lazy and have not gone to my comic book shop in almost a month. I am going next week to pick up all my month's worth of new comics, but I have read lots of trades. But Trevor has probably read newer stuff than me, so we will start with Trevor.
Let's see. I don't have any issues that came out in the last 2 weeks. I was home on vacation, and that vacation lasted a week and a half, and I just don't have enough money, so I'm waiting on my paycheck to come in to buy my new comics. So I think these books came out 3 weeks ago. I have the last issue of Moon Knight. Do you have this one yet?
Yes,
Okay.
I
Yes. I had to say goodbye to two of my comics, Moon Knight last issue and Black Widow the last issue. I'm going to miss both of these comics because as of now, these two have not been announced to be relaunched this fall, so this might be the end of both of these.
what were your thoughts on the Moon Knight
Mm,
last
um,
issue?
I thought it was pretty good. It's pretty much in touch with all of the other comics. It doesn't really treat itself as a series finale. Like the whole book was basically one shots anyway.
Yeah, that's true. I thought it ended. I mean, it ended. I think exactly like you said, how we thought it was gonna end. It was just kind of a one shot. I was gonna say, and they didn't really leave anything open or closed to do another volume. They can just kind of continue on.
They can continue if they wanted to. If not, it's fine as well. Like, there's no cliffhangers. There's nothing else that they have to say. So
Yeah.
I thought the book ended fine.
Have you read anything else like trades or anything?
Oh yeah, I have a few extra ones. Continuing with my Secret Wars tie-in that I'm semi-enjoying, but not enjoying as much of the monthly comics that they took the place of. Let's just put it at that. Like
Is
again,
that I Is that what are your and Willow's opinion on that one? I
this one
don't know anyone other than you guys that is reading Thor's, and I've just been curious.
it's basically like a detective cop show. It's very strange. It takes itself mostly seriously too. It's basically all of the actual Thurs have like this agency and they solve crimes.
Hmm,
So it's a it's light, but it's pretty good.
nice, very nice.
I have a
Anything?
A couple things. Okay, so this is going back like 2, 3 weeks still, because like issue 2 just comes out this week, but like Book of Death issue 1, which is still new to me. Uh, Follow Bloodshot, very nice cover.
Ooh, I love that cover.
Yes. Ninjak issue 5. A couple new number ones. Mercury Heat with Avatar Press. This one's pretty fun. It's kind of a Judge Dredd-esque comic. And my last issue, which again came out close to a month ago now, is Island issue 1, the magazine-sized anthology book. 100-page monthly comic at $7.99 an issue.
Is it worth it?
I think so. The comics aren't amazing in it, but they look amazing. The actual stories themselves aren't great yet, but I'll keep with it. I do like it quite a bit. Good value. I have one trade I've read. I talked to you about it. Supreme Blue Rose. This is basically a remake of like a 1990 comic, 1990s Image comic. But as far as I know, you don't need to have read that one to understand this book at all. It's kind of, well, understanding this book is, I don't really know if understanding is what you want to say, but the book kind of stands alone anyway.
Yeah. How did you like it?
I liked it quite a lot, actually. It basically, it makes a comment on the state of like the comics book industry today and how commonplace revamping and restarting universes is. And I feel like this book is an interesting take on that concept. And it looks amazing.
Yeah, the artwork's like some of the best artwork I've seen in a while. I thoroughly enjoyed it. How about any takes for you, Willow, on what you've been reading?
I've read a couple of things. I read the new Jim and the Holograms book. It looks like that.
I still haven't even started like issue 1 yet. It's on my to-do list this weekend.
Well, that means you're bad. I read Sex Criminals because it's back now, and that issue is amazing. It's probably the best thing I've read all month. It's kind of closer in tone to like the first arc of Sex Criminals. Like it's funnier and less depressing.
I was gonna say the first arc was the best arc.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting back to that sort of thing. At the end of it, they're like searching down these different people with like fetishes who also have like the sex criminal stuff. So it looks like it's getting ready to get into some different territory with a lot of new characters. So that should be fun. And I also read Kieran Gillen's Phonogram, which is the book he did before Wicked and Divine. And if you like Wicked and Divine, it's kind of like that. It's like a test run for Wicked and Divine. It deals with music still and rock stars as gods and music as a life force and energy and stuff like that. Except it's about Britpop, which is kind of a shitty genre of music. So if that's not your thing, then it might not be for you. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about Oasis as gods in it, which can get annoying because they're Oasis. But like, it's okay.
You mean Oasis isn't true God?
Fuck Oasis.
Truer words have never been spoken.
That yeah, I don't know. I don't like Oasis either. What am I talking about? I agree with that statement. I feel really bad. So I was checking something, which is 100%. I don't know what's going on. YouTube must have done something. Oh no, there we go. We're back. Hey, it was telling me the comments were disabled, but then it turned them back on. I don't know. Leave me alone.
You are right off of it today, Ron.
Yeah. This is my favorite part of the show. Will, what have you been reading?
You know I can't read. Stop asking.
We're gonna soon have to put up donations for to get Will back into elementary school to learn to read. You will be in luck though when you can start watching Reading Rainbow and get LeVar to help you out.
I'm pumped for that.
So good, so good. Let's just dedicate this entire show to LeVar Burton. How awesome he is. I probably should have prepped this more because I don't think I have any of what I've read on me. I have read quite a bit of trades. I have not read any issues in like a month, but I finished Volume 2 and Volume 3 of Exo Manowar, and Trevor's original plan from, when was it, Christmas? Yeah, it was Christmas because I was going to Vegas. Trevor's original plan to hook me on the Valiant universe has worked. Even though I've said I'm only going to collect it and trade, just because I've already got so many of the trades, every day I'm kind of like, oh, I'd really like the singles of these. Like, I'd really like to be up to date. They're so good. But for now, we'll keep it a trade. Book it. I know. Looks so good. So good. Really like Exo Manowar. I always say, like I said in my YouTube videos, that it's probably my second favorite Valiant. But I guess now that there isn't Shadow Man, it's probably my first now.
Yeah, Shadow Man was a while ago.
Yeah, but Volume 3 was incredible. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. What else did I read? I know I read something else. What else did I read? I read those two. I read, since last time we were on Geek Speak, I finished the whole 500-page Inhumans trade. Me and Trevor have talked about that off and on together. It was good. I still feel like I have a gun to my head whenever I read anything that Stan Lee ever wrote. He's a terrible writer. And I think I understand the time period, but I think there was a lot better writers than Stan Lee at the time.
But Stan Lee was attached to the best comics of the Silver Age.
Yeah, which is that's what's sad about it. And I also enjoy that, like, every other sentence out of Mr. Fantastic's mouth was just stuff about, like, shut up, you know how a woman should be or something. And it was always, like, so ridiculous that it made you giggle. And then I think about that Stan Lee wrote it, and I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. What else did I finish?
Have you read, like, the 70s X-Men comic? Where, like, at the beginning of the issue, he's like, he like writes like a foreword to it, and then like I think it's in Giant Size X-Men, and then he says something like, and we finally hired a woman to do a job at Marvel, and guess what? She's not completely incompetent. Stan Lee's kind of an awful person sometimes.
That's pretty much, imagine that, but in the comic book writing of Fantastic Four in every other page.
And it's funny, too, because, like, that came right before, like, Chris Claremont's run on the X-Men, which is considered, like, one of the best, like, comics, like, representations of women in all of comics of that time period. And then, like, you have this big heap of just garbage from Stan Lee at the beginning of it.
And confusing the general public since 1940-something.
Yeah, man. And I gotta say this, and I feel like anyone that's read or looked at the art from, like, that whole Inhuman story arc, Black Bolt is one of my favorite characters, but what the fuck is going on with that guy's eyes in the 70s? He has, like, if you look at it, he has the weirdest looking eyes, because they're just, like, they're really white with a pupil in them. Like, they're just supposed to look like normal eyes, but whoever, like, the original drawing, like, I know it was Kirby, but Kirby he had to be drunk while he did it. Because in the eyes, like, aren't even, like, lined up properly, so, like, he looks kind of like, I don't know, something I'd see from, like, The Hills Have Eyes or something.
Maybe they let Stan Lee draw him.
Maybe.
The original drawing was from the 70s?
Yeah.
LSD, my friend.
Yeah, that's precisely it. But other than that, it was a great read. Like, other than, I say it was a great read other than the horrible writing. But I found everything interesting. I just didn't find the Fantastic Four stuff interesting, really. Just the Inhuman stuff, just because I don't really care about the Fantastic Four. And then the other things I finished reading, I read Old Man Logan. And I think I'm going to do, I guess I could tie that in right now, is I've actually decided that I'm not going to review trades on my YouTube. I'm actually going to do them exclusively on the Facebook group and upload them that way. Original content from me reviewing trades. And if I don't like the book, I will throw my cat across the room. Just chuck it. But Old Man Logan, that was the first Wolverine I ever read, and I guiltily loved it. He's one of those characters I feel like I've never overly been interested in, and I don't really want to like him. But when I read that, I was like, wow, this was an awesome, like, it was possibly one of the best things from Marvel I've ever read, in my opinion. And then I also finished Volume 1 of Y the Last Man, which is as incredible as anyone said. I'm going to pick up some of the other volumes this week and continue on. And I'm about 3 issues into Final Crisis right now, which is Grant Morrison, and it is just as odd and confusing as anything Grant Morrison writes, especially because I've never overly been into DC, like, in that area of when they published that, so it's a lot of New Gods characters and stuff, and I've never been overly interested in the New Gods, so
I read Final Crisis, I think, back in 2011 when I was going through all of Grant Morrison's Batman, and Final Crisis is like in the middle of that. And I was following all of the Batman stuff in DC, but not the other stuff, so that book is extremely confusing to me.
Yeah, like, I feel I might try to do some more research before I finish it. Like, I feel like I probably should know more of what was going on in the universe at that time. So, I don't know. I don't know. That's all I've read, though. I guess we already said Will doesn't read. So, let's talk about pictures, because Will can look at pictures.
I do like a good picture.
The Marvel hip-hop variants. Thoughts on them, any that you want to pick up, that type of thing. Have you seen them, Will?
I'm about to look them up now.
Let's start with you, Trevor. And Willow.
Well, before I can commit to buying any, you mentioned to me a few days ago that someone talked about the possibility of them being upped in price. Do you know about the
from what I had read, is that they planned on making these double price. I don't have any hard evidence to confirm that, but I did see quite a few people online talking about that, and that scares me simply because I wanted so many of them. So I'm hoping, because at first, and I'm sure it was everyone's understanding, I thought they were just mass-marketed variants.
I thought so too.
So, which I do hope is the case, because if that's the case, then my landlord is not going to like me, basically, is what's going to happen. So let's assume that they are only normal price. What interests you, I guess, is the best way to put it.
Well, I can't even answer that question yet, because the big question is, do I even want to give Merville money?
Wow, that's that's all.
The politics surrounding these hip-hop variants, I totally understand, and it's really shitty that the company doesn't have any black staff writing comics and drawing comics, and yet they put out these variants, making money off of black culture. So I can just as easily maybe even make myself not buy any, as even though I do like some of them a lot.
Yeah, some of them. So, Paul, all right, well, then let's word it this way. What are ones that you like, you might not necessarily buy, but you like to look at? Is there any that you're like, oh, shit, like, that's it?
Okay, yes, quite a few, actually. I love the Miseducation of Kamala Khan.
Probably one of the best ones in the bunch.
I also like the Miles Morales Illmatic one, the Nas album. God, so many good ones. The Captain America one.
Yeah.
I forget the rapper attached to that one, though.
A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also love the Mad Villain through one, which was only recently announced.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome.
We've had some Wu-Tang ones announced, but unfortunately the Wu-Tang ones have not been attached to comics I give a damn about.
Yeah, Squadron Supreme. Is that what they're called? Yeah.
Yeah. There's also one of them is attached to like Jesus Liquid Swords, but it's a theme I'm not interested in again.
Yeah.
And then we have Hera the Duck on the ODB album.
Yeah. Which I always thought that, because I feel there was a variant cover for Howard the Duck that was actually very similar to that, like #1 or something. So I didn't surprise me that they did that. Are you looking at them now, Will?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of these are fucking right cool.
What about you, Willow? Is there any different ones that you liked?
I like the one for Squirrel Girl, based off the Tyler the Creator album. I want to get that one. I'm not really a fan of 50 Cent, but I think the Iron Man one for 50 Cent is cool. The one for De La Soul is alright. But Trevor listed most of the ones that I wanted.
Yeah.
My favorite one, though, is Tyler and Squirrel Girl.
That one was awesome.
Yeah.
I was a big fan of that one too.
That one gave me a lot of interesting feelings, because I think it's a fantastic image attached to someone who I loathe so much.
Hopefully, hopefully no one likes Tyler the Creator's watching.
God.
I don't know how I like Tyler.
Only fan.
What do you think of them, Will?
I really like the Ant-Man one based on the Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I was gonna say the Ant-Man one is probably one of my favorite, but Notorious is like one of my favorite rappers. So I really like the Iron Man one, but that's probably how old I am, and the fact that I remember going to the CD store and like the day Get Rich or Die Trying came out and bought that album. That album was incredible. I really like the Inhumans one that is mimicking the Outkast album. That one is probably another one of my favorites. And then pretty much ones everyone else said, like Captain America was high up there because that's like an iconic recent album to me, and the Nas Illmatic one, the Miles Morales one, I thought was really well done. But like Trevor said, it is interesting when you talk about black writers not writing any of these stories. And it's also when you come into if these are going to be double the price, I'm also not interested in it because I think we're already paying too much. For a company that regularly is charging us $4.99 and $5.99 if they can get away with it, I'm not for that. And I think, like all our favorite hip hop artists, we should fight the power.
Who's singing Straight Out of Compton next week?
Oh yeah.
Do you plan on seeing it soon?
Yes, I do. I do. I want to go see it ASAP. Although it's music. Music is cool, like comics. I do have a lot of. I'm interested to see because I do know they casted Tupac in the movie, and I'm interested to see how he fits in that movie as he didn't exist in that period of time in terms of having anything to do with NWA. So I'm interested. I'm interested.
There'll be a lot of white people thinking they're black in a week.
I said that the theater experience will be interesting in Newfoundland, as it will. When you go, Trevor, it'll be like you and Willow, and then everyone else will be in Echo apparel and silver gold, like silver chains.
So you're saying I don't have the outfit to go?
I'm saying we can hook you up. Let's get you the right outfit. Let's get you the right chain. And then you're ready.
To be straight out of Compton, Leompton.
That's right. So let's flip it on the other one of the big two to get back to comics. Have you guys looked at the Looney Tunes variants for DC?
We've looked a few times, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
interested to hear your opinion.
I'm not going to be buying any of these ones.
No.
I think some of them look nice, but like as a set, like looking at them all at the same time, back to back to back, it's kind of conflicting because I'm not really sure I like the style choices they went with, because it's this mishmash. Like sometimes we have a total DC image with the Looney Tunes guy just kind of in the image, but then sometimes we have an actual Looney Tunes aesthetic, but with DC characters inside. And sometimes we have covers that actually try to combine the two styles. Sometimes we have really generic covers that don't even really align with either style all that much.
Yeah.
Like the biggest example of the one that I think looks the most awful is one called New Suicide Squad. If you want to look at that one, it tried and combines the DC aesthetic with the Looney Tunes aesthetic, and I think it's just hideous.
Yeah, I didn't like many of them. I'm not overly interested in the Looney Tunes anyway, so I probably will stay away. I'm sorry. I knew you would be all about this, so that's why I was interested in hearing. I do really like the two that stick out in my mind are the Flash one.
I like the Flash one as well, actually.
Yeah, and the Green Lantern one with Marvin the Martian.
Oh, he's wearing all the Green Lantern rings?
Yeah, but that's simply because to me, I think those two covers make the most sense. Like when I started looking at the images, Marvin the Martian one was the last one I saw, and I was like, there's no way they're not going to use him for Green Lantern. As I said, there was no way that the Roadrunner shouldn't be with Flash.
I like the Wonder Woman one too, actually, because Wonder Woman is attached to the What's Opera Doc film from the Looney Tunes, which is maybe the most iconic Looney Tunes film. But yeah, that's a good one as well.
I really didn't like I think it's the Justice League one with the Tasmanian Devil.
The Justice League one's kind of plain. Yeah.
And then,
Actually,
but there's two, isn't there?
There's two Justice League ones, and I think they both look shitty.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not a big fan of that. So are we all kind of saying that we think that this is a flop month for variants?
Or they're not really very good, most of them.
No.
It's
I
just,
know. Why?
they're two very conflicting, like Trevor was saying. It's just two conflicting of art styles.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I'm kind of getting burnt out on the variants. I don't know if other people feel like that, but I don't like this idea that every month we have to have like a different variant month now. And I get
And
it.
you actually double dip, don't you, when it comes to ones that you like?
If it's ones I like and I like the variants, I do. And that's why I say, like, I feel bad about it because I say, oh, like, I'm burnt out, but I'm still like, when we had the Bombshell month the first time, I went and I bought them for the characters I liked and I thought were well done. But to me, I liked it better when maybe a couple of months you get variants and that was it. I don't like this every month is a variant, and it's like, so every month we are going to try to make you double dip because I know you're like, people are buying comics at a great rate right now. Like, I know you're not that hard up for the money, and I just think it's unfair. I think it kind of takes the fun of the variant away. To me, a variant's always like an alternate cover that's not necessarily the easiest thing to get, that you might pay a little more money for, but it's because you like the variant that much.
And it should feel like a special occasion. Like you said,
Yeah.
They shouldn't be mass produced and monthly.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I feel. Is there any, on the comic end, is there anything we want to talk about? Like, is there anything you've seen coming out you're interested in, or?
I think we touched on most of those comics on like an episode ago, 2 episodes ago, when we talked about like the Image Expo and the Marvel relaunch. I think we touched on all the new stuff coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can't really think of much since the last preview book that I've been interested in. I am getting very excited though for the Survivors Club.
That's a Vertigo one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that one looks good too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that one and the Clean Room one. Both Vertigo.
Yes.
I'm always Vertigo. I am always excited to see what they have new coming out. I feel Vertigo really has a good quality control going on.
I also like Vertigo because they usually sell books kind of cheap. They usually do like $2.99 issues, and the trades only cost like between $10 and $15.
Yeah. What about you, Willow? Anything you're excited for?
Not really.
Do you just hate life because it's so hot right now?
Yeah.
I thought you were like begging for the warmth.
I'm excited for Marvel to get back to being Marvel again and quit like doing nothing with Secret Wars. And I'm excited to get back into what Valiant is doing. But like, I'm very out of the loop right now for comics because we haven't read anything in like a month because we've been out of town or broke or both. And like, yeah, I'm just haven't been paying a lot of attention.
I think it's kind of an interesting comment because I forget who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone about that the other day. Is that I think it's interesting because I said I'm going to pick up my comics next week. It's been like almost a month since I've been there, and I feel like I've missed nothing. Like, I know what I have to go pick up, and other than, like, a couple image books and, like, like a Titans press book, like, I don't care. Like, I'm not getting anything from Marvel right now. I'm barely on DC other than, like, the Superman stuff and the main Green Lantern book. But it's just, like, the event, I feel, and I feel the same about everyone else. Anyone else I've talked about just thinks that this event has gone way too long for Marvel. I don't think they planned it out very well. I think people are just kind of burnt out from it. Just get back to the books in their normal continuity.
It's also strange that the new number ones will be spread out across like 5 months as well.
Yeah.
We'll be getting like 10 new books a month, which is the opposite of like the New 52. The New 52 gave us everything at once. So basically, this fall we have Secret Wars books and new books coming out at the same time.
Yeah, it just seems unorganized and not well planned out. And I really feel it's just one of those things where they've kind of just been like, guess what? We're murdering the theaters right now. We just don't give a shit about the comics. The comics are just an ad generator for the movies now, it seems. And sadly, it hurts the comics.
We won't get a bankruptcy to smarten them up now that they're merged with Disney.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So is there anything else comic-wise we wanted to talk about, or was that we touched on pretty much all of it? I guess we've been talking about it for like 40 minutes.
I guess we can move on.
I guess. To Trevor's favorite topic of all time, TV news.
This is my nap time.
Just fall asleep. So, like I said, I was discussing when we were all discussing how long will this last, this conversation. I figure we'll just kind of go over these points if you haven't seen the news or little opinions about it. We'll start with Supergirl. There's been a whole slew of castings for Supergirl. I'll be honest, most of them, like Trevor and like Exilia right now, I'm sleeping on because I don't really care. The only thing I was really excited for was they announced that Red Tornado is casted for Supergirl.
Exciting.
I love Red Tornado, so I don't know if any of you guys like Red Tornado, but I'm all for him. Although, like typical TV fashion, I'm sure it's going to be like who Red Tornado was before his voice was an android or something stupid like that. But if they would just give us the android, I'd be overly happy.
He'll have some lousy origin story like he was in a cell phone warehouse and he merged with all the cell phones and that's how he became an android.
That'd be like good marketing, good plug-in. And then on the same end, or on the same side of companies, Arrow announced a whole bunch of casting, and it's kind of the same thing. Like I didn't write it down, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, I can. Hawkman has been casted. They are fully giving us Hawkman in Arrow. I would suppose since Hawkgirl's in the other show, they said that Hawkman will tie in with both shows.
Will two Hawk people hook up and make Hawk Baby?
Maybe. Maybe this is how the whole race will continue on Earth. Because as far as I know, they're fully planning to go with the idea that they are from another planet. Because I think other than that, it's hard to explain why they're Hawkman and Hawkwoman. Evolution gone wrong. Then the two most interesting news on the CW DC end was the two announcements for the Flash. We're getting Jay Garrick, which you kind of knew if you saw the season finale. So we are actually getting Earth 2 in the new Flash series. They said they're fully going to go into it, season 2, about multiple universes and all this stuff. And that he is going to be a major character this season. That both Flashes are going to work together. And I believe they've also announced Wally West as well. So we're actually going to get almost all of the Flashes. So I'm excited about that.
You think the season will end with an anti-monitor thing?
Maybe. Well, it's interesting that you brought that up, because the next casting is I can't think of her civilian name, but they've casted Dr. Light as into the series, and they are not doing the male Dr. Light, they're doing the female Dr. Light. And the female Dr. Light in the comics got her powers from the Anti-Monitor.
Oh boy.
So I thought that was I thought that was interesting. Trevor's mouth open, I'm sure.
What was the Constantine news you told me a few days ago?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Constantine, if you didn't know, that's why I wrote that down, and I was like, I don't really care. Constantine has been casted, the same actor. He is now going to be a series regular on Arrow. So
this is why I'm glad I didn't give Constantine a chance. Because if I had become a fan of that show, I would now be obligated to watch this piece of shit show. So now I feel like I can just stay away.
So, as someone that watches it, I'm okay with that. I saw 2 episodes of Constantine. I really liked the first one. I didn't like the second one. So hopefully they do a better job at him. The only 2 other things I've written down for news is NBC. It's just a rumor right now that they're developing Warren Ellis's Red into a TV show. So they did have 2 movies. The rumor is that they bought it for an ongoing TV epic, they said. So I'd believe it, just where Warren Ellis, with powers, people have been buying up his shit. So
his small concept shit, his least interesting stuff, basically.
Yeah.
He's one of the top 5 comic book writers today, and they're choosing his least interesting projects.
I wonder if they'll get Bruce for the show. Mr. Willis. And then the last bit of news I have, which also has to do with NBC, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it yet, is NBC is currently working on a DC comedy a la The Office. It's going to be a workplace comedy based in the DC universe. And the concept is that it's going to be about insurance agents that have to deal with claims of things that have happened because of superheroes and supervillains.
This sounds like an SNL skit.
It does.
And
that's why I'm kind of interested. I'm not so much interested in it as I'm interested to see it fail, because I think it'd be funny to watch. But DC has put a statement that said that they're writing it right now. The pilots, they are going to give a lot of properties to the show. They said the only 2 off limits right now are Batman and Superman, but the rest of the properties that they're in talks right now about using, and that you won't necessarily ever see any of these characters. You'll just see the people dealing with them, destroying the apartment building you own and someone filing an insurance claim. But it is a comedy, and it will be a workplace comedy.
Though Superman and Batman being off limits, there's two of the DC's biggest heavy hitters on insurance claims.
That's right.
I mean, Joker's screwing up entire metropolitan areas.
So, listen, I'm just giving you the news. Don't attack me. Don't write hate mail to me.
Oh no, don't shoot the messenger.
So from that, what?
I said, don't shoot the messenger, kick him down a well.
Yeah, that's right. So from that,
I would watch an episode of a sitcom if it dealt with insurance people dealing with the fallout of the Man of Steel movie.
You'd possibly have to make it like 13 seasons long just to get through half of the claims. Well, from that jump, we'll go into the movies. Let's start light first. Did you guys all see they leaked images of Black Panther on set? So we have our first images of the Black Panther in Civil War. I don't know if you guys saw it, but there's not much to say. It looks pretty close to the comics. He looks good. I don't think anyone really argued this guy would look like a bad Black Panther, so I liked it.
Good stuff right here.
That's right. I thought maybe we could talk about, because we didn't talk about it last time, the leaked images from Apocalypse, X-Men. A lot of flack for how Apocalypse looked.
I think I've seen a picture of how he looks, and it's not right.
What do you think, Trevor?
Comic book villains have always looked silly, but it makes sense within the context of animation. Putting that faithfully into live action will always have troubles. That's why they completely avoided adapting Galactus in the Fantastic Four movie. They realized, if we make Galactus in live action, that's going to be really goofy. They tried doing this with Apocalypse Now, and, well, you see what happens.
I'm also under the mind of Sinner's getting a lot of flack for it. I always recall all the flack even myself was guilty of giving for Quicksilver, especially when we knew he was going to be Agent Ultron. We're like, oh, Quicksilver looks so fucking stupid, blah blah blah. And then when the movie came out, I think the biggest thing about Days of Future Past, everyone was like, oh my god, Quicksilver was amazing. It was like exactly what we wanted. We just didn't know what we wanted. Bryan Singer statements have said, you trusted me on Quicksilver, trust me on Apocalypse. He's also he's tweeted some pages out of comics where the illustrators have not drawn Apocalypse so massive, and he has been smaller and more realistic, and he's trying to say that they're basing him more off that than they are the huge god-like person. Like I said, just thoughts. I also think that the other pictures have looked pretty good, like Jubilee and Scott Summers and Jean Grey, all the young castings. They've all looked pretty on point, so we'll see. We'll see. Only time will tell. I don't think any of us has seen Fantastic Four, have we?
I have.
I like Trevor's face there. That was the best face of all time. I'm gonna rewind the show and make it into a meme.
Make it a Vine, just whatever he did.
Yeah. Will, what are your thoughts? I plan on going to see it next week.
I had to see it to see how bad they fucked up Doctor Doom this time. Fox cannot get an origin story right to save their lives.
He's that bad.
it was good for the first like 20 so minutes, and then you just realized it was anticlimactic crap.
Yeah. Everything I've heard has been pretty much that.
It was awful. It
Yeah.
was awful.
I think it's interesting. Like, I know I haven't seen the movie, and I know Trevor hasn't seen the movie, but like Willow and Trevor, what are your thoughts? Like, I know I had some opinions, like when Trank tweeted that he's basically disassociating from the movie because of the studio stepping in.
Based on the reviews that I've read from like a lot of my friends who like write film reviews and stuff, it does seem like there was a bunch of different voices in the movie. Like he didn't get to make the movie that he wanted to make. Like it starts out one way and then like completely turns into something different. So I sort of believe him when he says that it's not the movie that he envisioned, but also that is an easy way to cover your own ass for making a shitty movie.
I believe him, but I don't trust his own vision anyway.
Because Chronicle sucked.
Chronicle was awful. So even if he wanted to make the movie, even if he got to make the movie that he envisioned, I bet it would be just as bad, just for different reasons.
I have no comment because I've never seen Chronicle, nor do I want to see Chronicle. I will say what I'm most happy about this movie is out of all the bad reviews I've read, almost everything good about the movie has been about Michael B. Jordan's acting in it, which I'm just I'm ecstatic about.
I gotta say, he was a very good rendition of the Human Torch, what he did.
I think I'm like I said, I'm happy about it just because of how many Facebook comments I've fought in about him not being white, and I think for him to get a review that said he was pretty much the only good thing in the movie, that makes me very happy. So the question is, Will, would you much rather watch the originals than that?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The worst thing is they set this one up that it could potentially have a sequel.
Well, when they set it up, you also got to remember that, like, what, a day or two before it released, that they announced that they were working on, like, an X-Men Fantastic Four crossover movie. I feel like that's definitely not going to happen now. I mean, the movie tanked, so...
I don't think they'll be doing anything with the property for another 3 or 4 years, whatever their contract with Marvel states they have.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it? They get 3 years, and if they don't put anything out, Marvel gets the rights back.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I just don't know, and I know everyone fights about they want Marvel to get the rights back, but my question is, where is the Fantastic Four's place in the Marvel universe right now, like the
It's too
cinematic
late.
universe?
It's too late in the cinematic universe for really even Spider-Man to make an appearance, but we're getting that, so...
I guess when Marvel decides to reboot it someday. So we'll talk about the big film. I'd like to start with Willow and Trevor. Ant-Man.
Ant-Man is the same movie that I've watched from the MCU going back to 2008. I don't know why I still watch these movies. I feel like by the end of Phase 3, I might actually not even be watching them. Who knows?
You know you will, man.
I grow more frustrated with each one. I didn't like Ant-Man, no. I didn't even like it as much as Avengers 2.
Ooh, that's rough.
That's
rough. How about you, Willow?
I thought it was decent. It's like all the other Marvel movies. I mean, it's like it has some funny bits in it, and there's some cool stuff in like the finale. But like, I don't think it completely works because I still think there's just like way too much time setting it up for it to actually be like a really fun movie. I did like that it's mostly standalone, that like it didn't actually connect in with the cinematic universe as much, because I grew more tired of that with every movie.
I really
Yeah.
hated the scene with Falcon. I thought that was really obnoxious and kind of phoned in.
It was a little bit. I'll admit that. I overly enjoyed it. I think Willow has the right attitude, Trevor. I'm sorry.
What's that?
I feel like
what's
Willow
the
did.
attitude?
I feel like you're. I feel like you always like you want so big from Marvel. They're not gonna give you. I feel like Willow at least went in and she knew what was gonna happen. She knew it was just an MCU movie. You just have to take it for what it is, man.
Something
Oh,
that
I totally disagree. I think it was way better than Age of Ultron. I still think Age of Ultron's the worst movie they made.
I'm not a fan of either one.
Yeah, I know you're not. I overly liked. I liked Ant-Man enough to see it twice. I even thought about going again. I enjoyed it. Maybe I'm a sucker for Paul Rudd. Um, I ended up I liked Michael Douglas more as Hank Pym than I thought I would. I didn't think I went in totally against him, and I do kind of like him. I don't know. I overall liked it, but as Trevor probably tells everybody behind my back, I have a horrible taste in movies.
I almost
Or-
said that to Will when we talk about you.
Oh man. Will, what are your thoughts?
I actually thoroughly enjoyed Ant-Man. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a different twist on the MCU. The whole heist movie thing. I enjoyed that. And
Yeah.
for me, my hierarchy right now is Civil War is the best movie they've ever made, and then Ant-Man's right underneath that.
Yeah, Ant-Man's probably, as someone that saw Guardians of the Galaxy 3 times, and I was like, oh, this was awesome. Ant-Man is on my mantle as the like best one that they've done so far, in my opinion.
And
I
when
did
things-
like the heist in the final act, but
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a little bit extra of that. The movie was so dull leading up to it. It was almost all exposition. How many scenes can you have of people in coats in labs talking about science?
as many as you need to make the movie work.
I hope Ant-Man isn't the breaking up of Geek Speak. So we'll end this off on the most negative note I can possibly think of, and that's our thoughts on all the trailers that we haven't talked about. And I'm giving the floor to Willow and Trevor for this for first.
Which one? Deadpool?
Suicide Squad, Deadpool, Batman vs Superman, and then none of you saw
Wait.
Civil War, so.
Didn't we discuss Suicide Squad and Batman and Superman as soon as they came out? Because that was like 2 months ago, wasn't it?
I know we discussed Batman and Superman. I don't know if we discussed the Suicide Squad trailer yet.
Suicide Squad, we talked about the leaked footage, but now that we've seen the real trailer,
I don't know. I'd rather dump my head in acid and watch that movie.
you're not excited for Will Smith's box office return?
I'd go with the acid.
Can it be a lot of acid that turns you into the Joker?
Speaking of Will Smith, like, not to get off topic or anything, but did you guys see, like, that he's rebooting the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with the new Fresh Prince?
That's not off topic. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air can always be talked about whenever.
I don't
Yeah.
know. The reason's probably going to star Jaden, and he's probably going to suck.
Now, if it does star Jaden, like, will the entire world just, like, revolt?
I'm so, like, as I'm sure anybody, I feel like it doesn't matter how old you are, like, I feel like every generation grew up on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because it's just always on TV. I just question, why does it need to be rebooted?
Doesn't.
It's still good. You can go back and watch it on Blu-ray. It's still just as good.
The old
I
show
just-
is still on TV too. It's still
Yeah.
on.
I don't see what the point is, because you're gonna have to have an entirely new cast for the young character. Like, and they're just, no one's gonna be as good as the original characters.
Does this mean Will Smith is going to play Uncle Phil?
Yeah, and see, like, I don't know. That's not funny. Listen, Will Smith, he's doing like the opposite of what Drake said. He's not going 0 to 100. He's going to like 100 to 0 real quick. I feel like everything in Will Smith's life is just like spiraling for him. I have no basis on that statement other than that's a horrible decision to read. Like, I just feel like no one cares. Will Smith's scared because his last movie sucked. I really don't think. I think Suicide Squad will get sales. I don't think it's gonna be great. I voiced my opinions on Twitter and Facebook. Like, I think he was the worst option for Deadshot possible. But who cares, right? As long as the Will Smith dubbing on your trailer sounds like Independence Day, we're okay, I guess. I don't know.
So I take it that you're not jiggy with it?
Listen, Big Willie style, I asked for that CD for my birthday, man, when I was like 12 or however old I was. I get jiggy with it all day. But I definitely don't get jiggy with it, nor will I travel to Miami to see Suicide Squad. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it.
Coming from a guy who probably has a poster that says the Millennium in his bedroom.
Millennium, man. Party like it's 1990. Hold up, it is. Like, listen, I'm all for Will Smith. Okay, I'm just saying that I think he's lost his touch, and I think he was a horrible casting choice. And I'm still in the middle about Harley Quinn too. I don't really, but see, I don't like Harley Quinn that much to really care. But was I the only one that found that trailer was just like very like mediocre? It was just like very hokey.
It further confirmed my thoughts on the whole Joker being very Ledger-ish.
Very something. I don't. I'd like listen, and I'm the one that has argued tooth and nail with Trevor, like, just give Leto a chance. But even I am like, no, let's not give Leto a chance. Let's just scrap it now.
Scrap it. Let's revive Ledger, have him come in and do the Joker for this one, and then just kill the Joker and never bring him back into filmography again.
I feel like there's so many other like Batman characters they could use that have never been, like, use something cool that hasn't been done or needs revival, like bring the Penguin back or something. I don't know. Danny DeVito looks the same. Just use him.
What's the name of that guy? He's the midget on Game of Thrones. Have him as the Penguin.
Peter Dinklage.
That guy.
What about I want to make sure Will has lots to talk about. What about Deadpool trailer?
How many chimichangas is it going to cost per ticket?
I knew you were so excited.
I'm going to see that movie 10, 20, maybe even 30 times.
How about you, Trevor and Willow?
It seems different for a superhero movie, so...
It looks better than any of the X-Men movies.
Yeah, but I hate all those movies.
Well, that's what I'm saying, so that's a good thing.
Well, if Trevor's wearing the brown pants, we're not going to get a good opinion from him.
Now, I hope you know that I probably got, like, semi-erect when Colossus showed up on screen. I was freaking.
I like that the movie is trying to adhere to Deadpool in comics. So, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the character, and I think I didn't like the jokes in the video, so I don't know.
And did you see the red band or did you see the green band?
I saw the red band.
Yeah, well, and I'm someone like I've never overly liked Deadpool. I'll probably go see it. I think to me it seems like the most truest adaptation of a comic that we've probably ever seen. I think Deadpool's a character that's kind of made for movies, not necessarily made for comics. I think he works well because of his comedy aspect as well as his action aspect. But, like I say, who cares about what four random people on the internet are saying, right?
Exactly.
Was there anything else we wanted to talk about? It seems like we've only been talking for like 20 minutes, but we've actually been talking for like over an hour. Time flies when you're in love.
I think I'm good. I gotta go Facebook topographical map of Utah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add, Willow, Trevor?
There actually is one comic book movie I'm excited to watch.
What is that?
My favorite cult Japanese filmmaker, Takashi Miike, is adapting a manga. It's called Terraformers, and it's a big science fiction action movie about like a group of people who have to go into space to rescue some people and shoot and kill some human-sized bugs.
So like Starship Troopers?
Kinda. I'll actually. It has like a short video. I'll post it on the Facebook page.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. This is someone that thoroughly
yes.
enjoys Starship Troopers.
Oh, definitely. I think it's definitely going to be a comical action sci-fi movie about people killing huge bugs. Seems good.
Listen, bugs should die. Will hates bugs.
I do. I have no problem watching a movie about people going up and killing them.
Well, I suppose since we got 6 viewers now. Whoa.
Oh.
Since they're probably tuning in because they're like talk about these fucking giveaways you're gonna give me.
I have one thing to add.
Oh, this is what I want. I want a build up.
Okay. Okay. If you're watching Arrow and you like Arrow, okay, the guy who plays Arrow on the TV show is wrestling at WWE SummerSlam event next week. He's wrestling a character named Stardust. This is going to be really, really stupid, so if you want to watch something terrible involving your favorite comic book character on television, you should pay $50 or whatever, or just watch it on YouTube the next day and watch your favorite guy attempt to wrestle. There you go.
Yeah,
no longer will Trevor's face when Will makes a comment be a meme, but it will be Trevor's face when Willow makes a comment. Because that face was amazing.
She talked that fight off like it was going to be something good. I feel like it's just going to be like the Ronda Rousey fight all over again.
It will be 10 times longer than a Ronda Rousey fight.
I doubt it.
The question is he fighting to save his city?
I wish it had a storyline that good. It's more just two weirdos fucking wrestling.
That's me. I now am sold. I'm watching this.
Good.
Don't feel left out, Willow. We can watch it together.
Undertaker's gonna be there, so if you want to watch a guy who's 50 years old get killed by Brock Lesnar, you can also have fun with that.
Yes,
Oh, man.
Newfoundland to watch it with you guys.
That's right. Be an event. Be a monumentous event. Well, so we'll talk about the giveaway. The Facebook link is below the description on this video, and when we finish it, it'll still be on YouTube. You have to like the Facebook group. And I decided to do something fun this time. And I'm going to show you guys, because you're not going to see it very well, because you'll have to go to the Facebook page to fully see it. But I've decided we are going to ask a question, and you guys you guys basically have to form a team, and as long as you comment with a team, we are going to throw those names, same as we always do, in a hat. Since it's been so long, the giveaway is going to be big. You're fighting for more bigger things. So this one, you're actually going to receive a trade, a Pop Funko, and a Blu-ray. Will posed a question. The people that did comment all voted for Marvel, so it's going to be a Marvel-themed pack. You will see what the prizes are. We're going to announce that a little late, probably in the next week. We're going to announce what the actual prizes are, but we want people commenting because that's how you're going to learn. So I'll show you. It's our favorite villain we were talking about from our upcoming movie, Apocalypse. So you get the sneak peek to get your answer to the question before I post it. So the question is it's a hypothetical. You are Apocalypse. We want to know, you have to create your own 4 horsemen, but they can be any character or villain from any universe. Marvel, DC, Image, Valiant. It can be anything. You have to create who are your 4 horsemen and who is wrecking your wrath on Earth. Who is going to be maybe a nice horseman and drop Willow and Trevor Pizza and an industrial fan off. But that is the question. It will be posted up, like I said, movie, book, Pop Funko. Once we start getting the answers in, we're going to let you know what the prizes are. Tell all your friends. We're trying to get to 100 likes. We're at 76, 77 now, I think. So get your friends to join in on the fun. Just don't tell them about the contest so you win it. As always, I'm Rowan. I'll let the rest exit themselves. They went quiet.
I
Will,
went quiet, yes. I thought that was movie talk. It upsets me. I can't help it.
He's
we're
upset.
gonna have to take him to the hospital now.
I think we should just take him to a chair and make him watch Ant-Man over and over and over again until he likes it.
We will be back in 2 weeks. I don't see any reason why we won't be. So we will be back on schedule, hopefully. But thank you for tuning in. We had lots of people tuning in live, more so than we normally do. So that is always a great thing. Make sure to like the Facebook, share the Facebook, like and subscribe to YouTube. All our links, the Twitters and everything are in this description, as well as the Facebook. Follow Trevor and Willow's blogs, their Twitters, and then tweet them how much you hate them. And then tweet how much you like me and how much no one really cares about Will.
Exactly.
That's what I do. But yes, thank you for watching. So long. I'm Rowan.
This is Trevor signing off.
I'm Willow, and if you include Ric Flair in your 4 Horsemen post, I'll like your post on Facebook.
I'm willing to include me in your 4 horsemen post. Yeah.
Thank you for watching. We will be back for the big 10. 10. We made it to 10. Geek Speak number 10. So long.